Yeah, it looks like we are off here. All right, recording. Okay, so welcome to our Sunday night team call, a Force Nation team call, and I am very glad to see all you guys on here tonight. We've got a lot of good information here, and some of this, like last week I talked about, we were going to talk about our next 12-week year, which we are still going to do that. But Denise and I had our call this week and our like marathon calls. That's why we can't do them all the time because we end up we're on the phone for like 2 hours. So it's like we have nothing better to do but talk, but at least most of it's business related. So we are going to talk about 12-week year a little bit, but I'm also going to talk about more specific ways to be the CEO of your business. But first, I'm like I want to give shout outs. Oh, I know how to work my computer. I really do. I'm trying to get back to the Facebook. So I just got our leaderboard updated. So I want to shout out to, gotta go back. I'm getting there, hold on. So I had it still on team call. All right, so we got some new names on the board this week. We have, my computer's being really slow. All right, so we have Kevin Lepla, who is not on our call right now, but he's got 2 points. Denise LaGrace. Laura has 2 points. Regina has 2 points. Belkis has 2 points. And Mr. Dave has 4 points. So he just shot up real fast there. And so that's pretty awesome. You guys, good job. Yay! All right. Denise and Dave, do you have anything that you want to add before we really get started here? Like maybe about summit rooms or anything like that? Anything else?
Well, yeah, I want to congratulate Arlene for getting Coach Fanny on board. Fanny has been an amazing challenger for the last year, and she's Arlene's very, very first vital behavior and vital process. She put her through the challenge groups, stuck her in the support system, watched her transform. Leadership, she did a lot of initiative when it came to helping and supporting and motivating other people, and Arlene recognized that in her. So I want to congratulate Arlene for that. And more to come, baby.
Great, Arlene.
Woo-hoo! All right. So we're doing awesome stuff here, you guys. And I just, I want to keep, I'll work on keeping that updated, like try to get it up Sundays before our team call. And I really, so I know it's not all about the points, right? The points represent the people, okay? So if we are not getting points, it means we're not doing enough to help the people, all right? And it doesn't mean every month you're going to get, Success Club 15, 20, 30 or whatever. But if you're at least getting Success Club 5 and preferably Success Club 10, because now that Shakeology is 2 points, you can really help focus on the nutrition aspect of it. Because I think all of us know now, even though our programs are freaking amazing, nutrition is the bigger component than the fitness, right? So it's like if you can work your ass off and do your workouts every day, and if you go and turn around and eat a bunch of junk, you're not getting results. So, even if you have to take people and just work with them on their nutrition to start with, that's, now that Shakeology is 2 points, it should make it a whole lot easier. Get them on Shakeology and do the portion fix with them if they're not ready to work out. So, all right. So being the CEO of your business, I put the segment that Carl Deichler did at Summit when he talked about being the CEO of your business. So hopefully you watched that if you weren't there live, because only 2 people on this call right now were there live. Carl's things at Summit are always amazing, and they are always going to really jolt you out of your comfort zone and make you, in a nice, way. He's not a jerk about it, but he'll let you know. So being the CEO of your business, that was a great talk that he did. So if you didn't watch it, it's on the event for this call. Go ahead and watch it. All right. It's about 25 minutes long or something like that. I tried to find the best recording of it on YouTube. So, all right. Then I just made notes. I'm almost going to just read this to you guys with probably a little bit of side notes on them. But so I've got like 4 things I want to cover. And since I wrote it out, hopefully I'll just read it and not go too far off topic here. So, all right. So number 1, your business needs to be a priority. All right. Just like if you had a part-time job, I know pretty much everybody here has at least some sort of a job outside of Beachbody. But if you had a part-time job, because a lot of people are like, oh, I need to make more money, so I'm going to go get a part-time job. So if you had a part-time job at Target or Starbucks or someplace like that, you wouldn't just show up whenever you felt like it, whenever it was convenient, or you wouldn't have a job very long. Even at awesome places like Target and Starbucks, after so many times, if you just blown it off, you're not going to have a job. All right. So you got to treat your business the same way. You got to treat it just like, it's something I got to show up for and I got to be there for every single day. And every day you need to do your vital behaviors in some form. I know, again, with people who have full-time jobs, it's going to be a little bit different. Or if you have, some days, some people are working like 12-hour shifts or something like that. Everybody's schedule's a little bit different, but there is some way to do it. All right. There are many, many, many uber successful coaches in this business who have worked full-time jobs and still made a business work. So you need to figure out how to do your vital behaviors every day. Days that you can't do as much, don't do as much. Days you can do more, do more. On your days off, if that's when you need to shoot out most of your invites and the rest of the week you're fielding them, or a couple days a week you're shooting out, 25, 30 invites each time, then do it that way. And then the rest of the time follow up and respond to messages and do things to build your business. We've talked about using Buffer, using Hootsuite, doing things that you can schedule your posts on. There's so many things that you can do. You just need to be smart about it and try not to reinvent the wheel too. It really does boil down to building the relationships, talking to people. The people are the ones that we are, and that's our business. The people are our business. It's not Shakeology so much. It's not the workouts. If we're not talking to people, the people have the money. The people are the ones who are going to be joining our challenge groups. The people are the ones that are going to be our eventual coaches. So you got to talk to people. All right. Who are you shaking at? Denise is like shaking her head, and I'm like, you're not talking to me, are you? All right. So number 2, some of this is a little tough lovish. All right. Stop making excuses and start focusing on creating results. Again, you're not going to necessarily always hit Success Club 10 in your first week, no matter what, if you're doing everything perfectly. But you can at least be doing the things that you need to do to create the results. It's not my responsibility or your personal sponsored coach's responsibility or Taryn's or Blake's or Angie's responsibility to make your business a success. All right, it's your responsibility. We have trainings like this call. We have our team groups. We have Coach Basics. We have other trainings in the back office. We have other Beachbody groups that you can be a part of. And there's tons and tons of videos on YouTube. There's plenty of training. So when I hear coaches say we don't have enough this, that, or the other, that's baloney. Lindsay Matway, who was the top coach 4 years ago now, because Melanie's been, Melanie's now 3 years, so I guess she was 2013. God, that was a long time ago already. Lindsay had no coaches working with her. She had nothing. She didn't have one coach ever placed underneath her. She did it all herself, and yet she still made top coach. So that's not an excuse. There's plenty of training. There's plenty of things to go along to help you build your business and learn more about it. We're here to help you. We're here to help coach you. We're here to help guide you in the right direction. We're here to answer questions, but it's not the team that you're on. It's not your personally sponsored coach. It's nothing, anybody can be successful in this business if they're just doing the right things. We also have Summit. We have Super Saturdays. We have the Coach Wake Up Calls. And there's other trainings like the one that Dave posted in the group the other day. There's trainings like that go on around the country. You just need to look for them. So yeah, the rest of the notes here I already said. All right, so this is the stuff that Denise and I were talking about on Monday. Was it Monday, Tuesday, whatever day it was last week we talked. Number 3 is the financial and tax advantages of being the CEO of your own business. Now, if you're not taking notes on anything else, you probably want to take notes on this. So I'm going to give you lots of things here that you're going to want to, if you don't know about it yet, you're going to want to know about it. But first, when you are a CEO of your own business, you get advantages that you don't get from your W-2 income. Okay. W-2 income is the worst kind of income actually to have. Here's some reasons why. You get taxed on the income you earn, and you get left, the rest that you get left is what you're supposed to live on, right? Plus, it's not 100% guaranteed. You never know. It's like, I know there's a lot of people, they think they still have secure jobs, especially people who are older than me still think there's such thing as secure jobs and whatnot. You work for the government, or you work for the city, or you work for some, but you don't. I mean, nothing is 100% guaranteed. They can let you go. They could close up shop. You could get hurt or injured, or something could happen on your job that makes it so you can't work. There's so many ways that paycheck is not guaranteed. Okay, so you have to understand. People love their jobs. Maybe you're getting paid really well. Maybe you don't mind selling the hours of your day at the job that you're working at, and that's awesome. But something like building your business and being the CEO of your business and doing that as your side hustle is something you need to really do a little more focusing on and all that. Just so, because like I said, you never know. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow when you walk into that job, or something happens to somebody when they're at their job, that you're not going to have that income to rely on. Let's see. So here is why income from your own business is better. You make the money. Some of you who were in Beachbody last year and had a full year, made over $500, you got a 1099. So you make the money, you write off what you need to write off, and you pay tax on what's left. You probably already kind of know some of that, but here's some of the things so that you can write off that maybe you didn't know. Because I was like telling Denise, and I kept going, and she's like, I had no idea. I had no idea. I had no idea. So these are the things that you can write off. I'm not a tax expert. All right. Up front, I'm not a tax expert, but I have been doing this long enough. Plus, when I was running my own personal training little side business, and I made some mistakes, plus probably didn't write some stuff off right. I don't know. Got audited, had to deal with the IRS. So some of this stuff I learned the hard way and from talking to an actual IRS person. All right, so here's some of the things you can write off as your own boss, having your own business. Your phone, cell phone, or if you still have a landline. Your internet, the office space in your house, your summit trip. I feel like I have a hair hanging on me, so I'm like, keep clicking. The mileage you drive in your car to events or to talk to clients about Beachbody. The food or coffee when you go to events or talk to clients. Your business fees, that $15.95 we pay each month, your business fees. Your Shakeology. Now this one is kind of a gray area. I've heard some people say their accountant says, no, you absolutely cannot write off your Shakeology if you're personally using it. Or other ones say, yes, it's a requirement of your job, of your business. So yes, you can write it off. I would say if you have packets at least, you can write those off because those you can call samples. If you have a blog, anybody who knows a guy fitness, you can write off those charges. Any clothes that advertise Beachbody or your programs. So when you go to Summit and you go to the core and you buy, $500 worth of clothes, which some of y'all will do, I was like, I probably walked out with like $50 because I'm a tight one. But if it says Beachbody or Insanity or Core de Force or anything on it, you can write those off. Those of you that are doing the Core de Force training at Summit, you can write that off. Your Facebook ads, virtual assistant that we were talking about a couple weeks ago. Any other forms of advertising. There's so many things that my tax lady told me, it's like, well, that's advertising, so you can write it off. When you get your blog and you get your URL and you do it through GoDaddy or whatever, that's like advertising, so you can write that off. Your PicMonkey, if you pay for PicMonkey or any other kind of things that you use to make your images on Facebook and Instagram, or if you pay for Photoshop or something like that, that's a write-off. How about a new computer, phone, iPad, camera, any kind of equipment? Those ones you'll have to decide if you, I don't know all the technical terms, you can either write it all off in that year or you can depreciate it. So you can decide how, you can play around with it. You can talk to your tax person and figure out which is going to make more sense in the long run. Any gifts that you give your coaches or clients, as long as it's not over 25, you can give them gifts over $25. You can only claim $25 though of that gift. So if your gifts are $25 or less, you can claim the whole thing. If it's over $25, you can claim up to $25. Office supplies like paper, printer, ink for your printer, printer ink, I should say, staples, pens, markers, envelopes, any of that stuff. You can write it off. Any programs that you buy to use at fit clubs or with clients. Are you looking for Post-it notes? Down there on that bottom shelf. Josh came back for his Post-it notes. You're welcome. Where am I at here? If you buy anything to organize in your office, files, containers, anything like that you would use in on your desk or in your office. Furniture for your office, fitness subscriptions, like magazines, your Beachbody Live subscriptions that you have to pay for. Any trainings that you pay for, whether they're Beachbody ones or you pay for some other network marketing, you go to GoPro, or you pay for anything Eric Worre or any of the other ones. Or even like I have a life coach and I paid for a training that she did or a thing that she did last year, I can write that off. Personal development. This is another gray area, but since this is one when I talked to the IRS and I tried to, wrote off all my personal development books, and she's like, well, you can't write that off. I'm like, but it's a requirement of Beachbody is that that's part of our training is personal development. She's like, all right, I'll allow it. So any of those books that you buy that we tell you to buy each month and read, and go ahead and write it off under your training costs. Some home improvements, if you are claiming an office space, I should say for your office space also, it technically has to be used exclusively for your business. So it can't be like a spare bedroom. It can't be your kid's playroom. It could be your workout room, I think. That would be all right because fitness is part of ours. So if you have, technically right off D&D Fit Club area or something like that, if, claim that as your office space. I would say, those black containers that you guys buy, that we buy for our food prep, and we do little live videos or videos showing how we food prep, you could probably write that off because that's kind of advertising for your next challenge group. Business trips, otherwise known as vacations. So you guys going to, was it Mexico? Where is it this year? Mexico? No. Which one?
Dominican Republic.
Okay. That, they have trainings there you can at least claim some of that as a business trip, like your flights. Um, you know, if you can try the whole thing, if you want, but any extra expenses you have. I mean, like excursions and whatnot, if you guys go out and do that, technically that probably couldn't be unless you had some of your coaches with you and you were like paying for them or something, then you might be able to do that. But like your flights, anything like that that's going on, you can write that off because you'll go to at least one business thing there, one of their little trainings that they'll do, so you can call it a write-off. Your tax preparation or software, business related magazines and subscriptions. That's all I listed off here. There's a lot more. There is, what is it? Something like over 75,000 pages of code for with the IRS of things that you could do if you have your own business. So there's a lot more that I don't know. And plus right now, with our little Beachbody businesses, there's probably, some of these things, some of it wouldn't even relate to us. But just understand that there's things that you're using in your everyday life right now, like your phone, like your computer, that you can write off at least some of it. Technically, your cell phone usage is supposed to be the percentage you use for business. Well, I mean, for the most part, it's probably mostly used for business, or you could justify it. Or if you want, you could say, all right, well, 75% of it's business and 25%, so write off 75% of it. Again, you guys will want to talk to your own tax person, or if you use H&R Block or TurboTax or whatever, there are spots where you can click on it, get, read about it, and then if you still have questions, you can ask somebody about it.
Hey, Rebecca.
Yes.
Actually, one of my clients is actually, he's a firefighter, but on the side he runs a tax preparation business, and I'm probably gonna start using him next year. We use this guy for the past 10 years, but I think next year we'll start using him. Tammy, that you know Chris Mitchell. He's actually a tax guy. He's been bugging me to try to get my taxes done with him. So I kind of feel a little bad not doing it with him, but definitely next year I'm going to go with him. So one day I'll have him come on here and give us some ideas and tips about how, what to do with your tax stuff.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Especially, I mean, we'll probably this time of year try to get him or somebody else come on and that's already doing taxes right now. It'd probably be kind of a long shot, but because they're busy right now. But there are so many things that you're using. I mean, honestly, if I go to Target and I buy, I'll try to buy something that's business related, or when I go to the Y to teach my classes, I mean, I usually am talking to somebody about Shakeology or Beachbody on Demand or something while I'm there. So I write off my mileage to the Y. And even though I'm punching a clock when I get there, I'm still also working my Beachbody business. A lot of the people that I have in my classes are now on Shakeology and or Beachbody on Demand. So, there's so many different things, but there's things that you are using right now. And, you need to make sure that if you have not yet done your taxes this year, try to figure out at least some of these costs that you can write off. If you have already done your taxes this year, you always can amend your tax return, and maybe you can get either your tax bill, if you owed some, you can get that smaller or wiped out, or if you got some back, you can probably get some more back, which isn't a bad thing. So was there any other ones that I mentioned we were talking about on the other day, Denise, that you can think of? That, because I was like just trying to make a list. I was like even looking around my office. I'm like, oh yeah, that and that and that.
Yeah, no, you mentioned everything that we spoke about, and it was funny because Dave and I had just finished getting our taxes done, like maybe that Friday before our chat, and I'm like, kicking myself in the ass because I know that he did write off like our office space, but none of the other things that Rebecca was mentioning was written off. You know, our summit tickets, our flights, our trainings, our equipment, our gear, like all those things. I'm like, oh my gosh. So moving forward, and that's why I told her this is important. Everybody needs to know this, because moving forward, we're never going to make that mistake again. You know, this is our business. Even if we're doing it part-time, it is your home business, and you have to treat it that way, you know. And then when it comes to filing your taxes, you own your own business. So all these things I hope you guys took notes.
Yeah. And I would say, you know, I haven't done it this way because I've tried to be more on a cash basis for quite a while. So that does cause more headaches, bookkeeping wise. If you can have like a business bank account where your Beachbody money goes in there and you use that to pay some of these bills or to buy your pens and staples and your printer ink and, you know, your summit tickets and, you know, or a credit card that you use specifically, that's going to simplify your bookkeeping. I am not a great bookkeeper, but, you know, I've at least kind of gotten, because with the whole audit thing, you know, I had to it was just a mess. So I've at least gotten better. And I also pay for audit protection with my tax person now too. So if that crap ever happens again, she's going to go and deal with it, not me. But find some sort of a bookkeeping system, whether you do it once a week, once a month. If you're really good, do it every day. I would get something like Quicken or one of those where you can, which that would be a write-off if you pay for Quicken or one of those. That was the one I was like, I couldn't remember it the other day when I was talking to Denise. I'm like, what is it? I know it. I can't. That's how often I use my Quicken. But anything, you know, anything that you use at least partially for your business, you can write it off. There's different spots to do it. Right now, like I'm sorting my receipts. I'm sorting them, but I'm stuck on parking. So all that damn parking we paid for down in Nashville, or what we're going to pay for in New Orleans, if we get a car, that's a write-off because we were going to the training. Our Uber, you know, to the trainings and back, that is a tax write-off. Even going out to dinner at, what was it called? That restaurant where you had the best burger of your life. That you know, that could be a write-off because it was kind of a business dinner. So when any of your travel expenses, so anytime you go out of town, try to somehow work something business-wise into it. So I don't know, like Todd and I went to the Cayman Islands and we really didn't have to spend anything because that was paid for by GM. But I was taking pictures and showing, you know, with my feet up and the ocean out there and my coffee and stuff and doing some of my business on my computer while before we got up for our day. So I don't know. I worked there for a little bit. So anything that we paid for there, some of it I could write off anyway. So, all right. So those are just some things. There's so much more to it, but that is some stuff that if you are not writing it off, then you need to do it. If you were a coach last year or self-employed last year, you need to go through and try to find some of that if you have not already done your taxes. And like I said, if you've already done it and you think it's worth the time, go back and amend your taxes. That might give you a nice little chunk of change back. All right, so the last thing is following the 12-week year. I'm not going to go into depth about it again because I linked to the training we did the end of last year and the book, and Audible is like $4.99 or something like that if you want to listen to it and you haven't got it yet, or if you want to read it, get the book. I put all those links in the event. But so if you participated in the 12-week year for the first 12-week year of 2017, look back and be a serious judge of how you did with it. You know, if you seriously miss your targets, be honest with yourself, be hardcore and figure out why. You know, did you just screw off? Did you just not do what you're supposed to do? Did something really big and major happen that completely threw you off track? Or, you know, did you just not do the things you needed to do to the level that you needed to do it at to be successful in the goals you set for your first 12-week year? So, you know, they say it's like, if you're not hitting your goals, what if two things needs to happen? Either you need to take it down a notch, or you got to up your activity and the things that you're doing. And again, just scroll through Facebook it's not building your business. Comment, you know, maybe for 5 minutes it is, but you don't need to just sit there. You need to actually be sending people messages and inviting them to challenge groups. And you need to be sending out friend requests to people that you think would be cool to know, and then get to know them and invite them to a challenge group. This is as much to me as it is to you guys. I finally, I think, got it through my thick head, and I've been a whole lot more consistent this 12-week year, this first 12-week year, than I probably have been the entire time I've been a coach. With maybe like the exception, well, thanks. With the exception, maybe like a few months back, long time ago, and then just how the universe has funny ways of I'm not going to go into all that whole story. If you want it, I'll tell you later. Some of you already know, but you know how the universe is like, all right, I always say it's like the universe will test you to see if you how committed you are, if you are really in it, whether it's your fitness, your business, your relationship, anything. As soon as you think things are going nice and smooth and everything's going great, oh, something's going to happen. And whether it's like you just get a little cold, or somebody gets hurt, or somebody dies, or somebody screws something up, or something happens, you know. So I had a time back several years ago where 3 things back to back happened, and everything just imploded, and I'm still like working on getting everything back. So, all right. So, and I also want you, if you did this 12-week year before, look at what areas you did succeed in, or at least make progress in, okay? Because if you at least did something, hopefully you've made at least some progress. Now, just a quick reminder of what I want you to do for your next 12-week year is you're going to focus on 3 areas. One is going to be your Beachbody business. Find 3 things that you are going to do consistently every day, every week to build your business. Again, all this is going to be in the book, in the audiobook, in the training we did earlier, so you guys can all refer back to that. The second one is your health and fitness. Again, 3 things that you are going to commit to doing in your health and fitness. For that one, it should be kind of simple. You're going to work out and drink your Shakeology and share it. You know, that pretty much should be it. But, you know, if you want to make it a little bit more specific, like Dee and Dave are working towards the Beachbody Classic again, you know, if you want to make it more specific like that, then that's fine. You know, you're going to finish a program, whatever, if you have never finished a program, or one that you really want to finish from start to finish, whatever, something like that. You can make it a little bit more personal, but it should go that way. And then the third one is something that's more personal to you, something in regards to your family, maybe to your regular job, if it's something that you love and are passionate about, some kind of home project, you know, whatever. Like my number 3 was, I've been doing the KonMari method, the magical something whatever of tidying up, that little blue book. And I can never remember the whole title. The KonMari method. So I purged like 7 bags of clothes, which is bananas, because I'm like, they're all thrift store clothes because I'm cheap. So, but I finally was like, screw it, I'm just getting rid of it. So I got rid of all these clothes. Most of them still fit for the most part, one way or another, but I'm just like, I don't love it. You pick things up and it's like, does it bring you joy? And if it doesn't bring you joy, you give it away, you know? So, second one was books. I still have some of my books, but I'm like, some of the ones I think people could benefit from, I'm trying to sell if I don't want to keep them, because I'm doing most of mine on Kindle now anyway. And then number 3 is like papers. So going through all the old tax stuff and all my, stash and dash boxes of paper crap that's like, so I'm on paper right now. And then, just keep going. So I've at least made progress. And so that was my personal, I'm going to continue with that. So finish off this 12-week year, because we still have a few more days of it. So finish off this 12-week year strong. If there's anything you can do to course correct a little bit, be sure to do that. Don't just say, screw it, I'll just start again. Find something that you can do to finish the first 12-week year, at least on a positive note. But also start working on those areas where you might want to be focusing on for your second 12-week year, whether you're going to continue on what you did, maybe just improve on it a little bit, or if you're going to totally switch things up a little bit and make your goals a little bit different, that's fine too. If this is the first time you've done a 12-week year, obviously it's going to be all brand new to you. And with that, that's all I've really got right now. And it was only 40 minutes. All right, questions, comments, additions, anything that you want to say?
I just want to urge you all to get the 12-week year, read it, and implement it. Because for the first time in my 3.5 years as a coach, I finally get it. I finally get it. Building a team is not easy, especially, when you want solid people who want to help others, not just enrolling discount coach. I mean, solid people who want to work the business. It's really hard. I'll get like 3 coaches, and all 3 within 3 months will quit because they're not seeing any results, and they're not finding any what's the word I'm looking for? Like, they're not finding any quality with their Shakeology because they're not doing their workouts. So they're like, it's not worth it. I'm spending all this money. And they don't find any value in it, So doing the vital process where you're sticking these people in challenge groups and they're actually seeing their transformation, those are the coaches that are going to work the business, and those are the ones that are going to be with you all the way to the end. So it's about quality, not quantity. Because I was looking at my genealogy and like 6 coaches canceled in the last 8 months. I lost 6 coaches in 8 months. Thank God I still have my diamond rank, but it's really easy for me to lose my diamond rank. The ones that are really, really, really serious about their health and fitness and helping others are helping me to stay at diamond, So I finally get it. So now with this first 12-week year process, it's forcing me to look deep into myself. And it's forcing me to accomplish things quicker rather than later. Because we look at an entire year as 12 months. So we say, okay, we have a full 12 months to accomplish our goals. With this book, it's consolidating it into 12 weeks. So in my head, I need to push harder because these 12 weeks are only 3 months, and that's a blink of an eye. So I'm happy to say that I've accomplished everything I set myself up to for these first 12 weeks. Everything. I wanted to set business hours. Done. I wanted to get my fitness back because I kind of fell off. I had a lot of injuries and ailments and health issues. I got my fitness back. I wanted to have my kids on a schedule. Even though there's one right now on top of the dog. Get off of Ella, please. You're squishing her. It's hard to get her to sleep. But, I did everything I could. Do you remember, Rebecca, when I would come to the team call like 10 minutes late because I'm still dealing with Gianna's hair?
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah.
But now that doesn't happen anymore. Now, because now I make it a point to make sure that the kids are on their schedule and they understand mommy and daddy have to work. And, for the most part, they don't bother. They'll still peek their head around the corner and they'll say they're thirsty like 3 times, but they're dealt with, So those are things that I wanted to set out for myself. Another huge one is I would hit SC5 2 months and then miss it for 4 months. And then I'll hit it for 3 months and then miss it for 2 months. And then I'll hit it again for 1 month and then miss it for 3 months. I'm not doing that shit anymore. SC5 or more every month if I want to make money. And that's just what you have to do if you want to run this business. If you want to grow this business, you got to do that, and and like Rebecca said earlier, we see the number, we see the points, but they're not just points, they're people. These are actual people that we're helping. We're helping them change their lives. And because we're helping them to change their lives, we're getting rewarded for it. This trip that Dave and I are going on, that's because we bust our ass last year. We bust our asses last year, so we earned that. So we were like, should we go? Should we not go? We kind of felt guilty. We couldn't take the kids. But no, we deserve it. We deserve it. We bust our ass. We do a lot, we work a lot. I'm up all night, he's killing himself too. So, and it's not only with Beachbody, it's just with everything in general, the regular 9 to 5, the kids, the house, everything else, so we decided we're going to take it. Beachbody put a lot into it, and we mostly had to just focus on our airfare. So that's it. We're going. So, we want you guys to all be in that trip next year. So make that a goal, get Success Club 5 every month moving forward, that way you can earn those trip dollars. Because that's what happens. Every Success Club point accumulates a trip dollar. And then when they take you off of that list, they'll let you know how many trip dollars you earned towards this trip. It's amazing. It's truly amazing. So 12-week year. When do we start the next quarter?
I don't know if I have the exact date. Let me look at my phone. Because there's like kind of a cushion week in there.
Right. We're supposed to celebrate, right?
Well, either that or catch up if you didn't hit your goals. I believe it's April 3rd.
Okay.
So technically next week, not this week, technically next week would be like your break week if you were really pushing hard, and it's your catch up week if you did not. So, and honestly, I'm gonna keep doing what I was doing. I'm not taking a break.
Celebration. At the end of the 12 weeks, we have a celebration where you take, a certain amount of money or a certain amount of time that you've had and you celebrate. Like a New Year's party, throw yourself a New Year's party for your accomplishments that you've been able to achieve within the last 12 weeks, okay? So the next 12-week year starts April 3rd, okay? So get this book, start reading it now. It is amazing. It's amazing, okay?
And you're going to hear more and more about it as you progress up the Beachbody ranks also, because they are really starting. When you get to Diamond and Star Diamond level, then you get to work more closely with representatives from corporate, and they've really embraced 12-week year, at least here in the central region they have, and they're really pushing for us to do it. And it's kind of funny, I'm like, feel like I've been around for so long, but it's like, I was doing Miracle Morning before it was a real thing in the Beachbody world, and I was at least half-assed attempting 12-week year off and on before it was a thing in the Beachbody world. So, some of these things that people, it's just like the little momentum, just like this is the way your business will be if you consistently do it. You're going to build momentum. So it's like Miracle Morning was just a small little idea that Hal Elrod had that he did for himself, that he decided to put it in a book. And then he started, talking to people about it. And he started getting started a Facebook group. And then he started a podcast. And then he started getting invited on other people's podcasts. And he started doing all these things. And then that snowball got bigger and bigger and bigger. And the same thing with Brian Moran, who did 12-Week Year. It's kind of a similar thing. He's actually got a podcast as well. So it's just, everything is, it's like, if you want to build a business, you got to talk to the people. You just got to talk to the people. They're not going to just fall in your lap. I know we wish that would happen. It's like, oh, I'm so wonderful and great and inspiring and perfect. And, well, maybe not perfect. None of us are perfect. But, we have this false sense. It's like, if we just put up a Facebook post and say, hey, join my challenge group, that people, it's just the fish are going to just jump into the boat, but they're not. You have to actually go out there and fish for them. So, I'm in a couple, 2 or 3 conversations just today with, like there's one guy who, he actually did jump in the boat, I'll have to say, because I did a little Facebook live making steel cut oatmeal the other day, so I think Arlene saw it, right? And this guy who I'm Facebook friends with, but he's somebody that I had not exactly randomly, but sort of randomly just sent a Facebook friend request to not too long ago. I don't do a whole lot of guys. They got to really anyway. They can't look like creepers. Let's put it that way. But anyway, he sent me a Facebook message. He goes, "You're a health coach?" I'm like, "Yep." And he started talking to me, and then he stopped. So today I did a follow-up email or Facebook, and now he's talking to me again, and he has 120 pounds he wants to lose. And, so I'm like, hey, we can do it if you're willing to put in the work, I'm here to help you. So, and I've got so you just have to start talking to people. Just ask. And what if 4 things are going to happen? 1, they're going to say thanks, but no thanks. That doesn't happen very often. I'll tell you that much. Number 2, what happens more often is they will apparently ignore you, but they're not always ignoring you. Sometimes they just forget to reply. That's why the shorter you make the message, especially the original invite, the better, because then they don't have to process and think and answer questions and all that stuff. Say, hey, I'm going to do this new challenge group. I'd love to have you in it. Do you want more information? I'll send it over to you. You don't have to make it complicated. And then have a template email that you're going to send them. I recommend taking it off of Facebook and taking it onto email once you start getting to that point, because again, if Facebook decides to put you in Facebook jail, Denise, because you're sending too many personal messages or sending too many personal messages that are business related or whatever, whoever knows what Facebook will do. So I would take it to email, send them the template email. If you want to personalize a little bit for them, great. And then continue the conversation from there. So you're going to have, either they're going to say thanks, but no thanks. They're going to ignore you, or you're going to think they're ignoring you. So that's why you follow up with them. They're going to say, send me more information. Or they're going to say, I would love to, but it's not a good time right now. I think I've probably really pissed off one person in the whole time I've been a Beachbody coach. And it wasn't even really, she wanted to sample of Shakeology, so I set her up a free Team Beachbody account, and all of a sudden she's all pissed off at me and unfriended me, and I'm like, okay, whatever. You're the one. It's like, okay. Besides that, I don't think I've annoyed some people every once in a while when they're like, all you ever do is talk about fitness, but that's not through the personal messages. So, so don't be afraid. Just send the message. Just say, hey, I'm doing this challenge. I'd love to be a part of it. I'll send you more information if you think that might be something you'd be interested in. So simple. It's so simple that we overcomplicate it and we get stuck in our head, and then, then we make it so much more complicated. And then we think it's like, oh, Beachbody doesn't work, when it's actually our actions that are not working. So yeah. Next week, we're going to do our What is Coaching call at this time. So we will get that set up. If you have challengers right now that you think are going to be amazing coaches, I recommend you start inviting them. or people, I really, my own personal opinion right now is I really want to work more with the people who are already Beachbody fans, who are already our Rockstar challengers or customers that we know have been around for a while who have been using our products. Beachbody is not the kind of network marketing company that works well, just like what Denise was saying, with just getting people on board because they think they're going to make a lot of money real fast. If they don't believe in the mission of Beachbody, I'm going to say 99% chance they're not going to stick around for very long. Okay, so they got to really believe in Beachbody. They got to believe in what Beachbody stands for, what Carl's vision is, all that stuff. And otherwise, and I really want you to encourage people. It's like if they want to sign up for the discount, then I guess, but don't push that anymore, because that is like building your business on quicksand. If you're a diamond coach and all your coaches underneath you are pretty much discount coaches, it doesn't take much for it to happen. Just like Denise was saying, she lost 6 coaches last year that were discount coaches. It doesn't take much. It's like, oh, I got to cut back on whatever my finances I got to do. I haven't been drinking my Shakeology. I have like 6 bags of it, So just the people that are 100% committed are the best ones to really approach with the business opportunity. So I've kind of shifted on that. So I used to be, it's like, well, offer them the discount because, I'd want a discount. But I would not really push that at all anymore. So, all right. Any other questions, comments? Dee and Dave, anything else you want to add? Or anybody else has anything they want to say? Did you guys learn a little anything? Okay. All right, cool, guys. Thanks for hopping on tonight. And let's see, can I unmute all of you at once? Like I'll say bye. I'm just gonna unmute y'all.
Bye, guys.
Everyone.
Because
I don't want it.
There you go. All right.
Bye.
There you go. All right. Bye, guys. Thanks for
Bye-bye.
coming on, and I will talk with y'all soon.
I don't want to